Greetings and salutations, everybody. I go by the name of Usumuzo Wampo from also known as Upodkambali for the 2Ks Aluken. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Go chat. Welcome to yet another fun-filled, exciting, and educational episode of Mzansi Chat. And namhlanje we are sitting with a legend, a founder, a pioneer. You understand? Mr. BATYI himself. Just did a beautiful interview with Pujonga, but on how we founded actually his goal up here, Plukombos. You understand? So we're just gonna be having a chat with him on the importance of education, as well as looking at leadership. Yeah. So Mr. BATYI, I think that's my first question basically. You understand? But like, why are you so passionate about education?
Yeah, education is one of the keys.
Yeah.
That have been proved, you understand, by most of our politicians and everybody else who understand the struggle.
Yeah.
Of our people.
Yeah.
So it is one of the most important keys for liberation.
Education.
Liberating the mind of the oppressed. And also creating better future for our children and the next generation and all the generations to come.
Yeah.
So without education, you are just like a car, a vehicle without an engine.
You're not going anywhere.
You are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You can see people are starving, people are struggling, and the employment rate is very high because of lack of education. So it is very important that people must take it very seriously, today, tomorrow, and forever.
Powerful. And this understanding, is it something that you grew up with at home? Or
from the history of our parents.
Yeah.
I understand, with all the laws of apartheid, understand, all those laws that were designed to oppress our people.
Yeah.
I really thought that I will never rest. I am going to make sure that I go to school.
Yeah.
To empower myself so that I can be able to close the gap. And also to conscientize our people from a leadership level that oppression should come to an end. So that's why I was so keen.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so determined, understand, to continue with my
to upskill yourself, education.
To continue with my efforts for education from primary school, high school, up to tertiary level.
Okay.
Yeah, because I also wanted to assist the people. You know, when people are asking me, what I told them that I want to be a social worker.
Was that the initial thing you wanted to do?
Yes, I wanted to be a social worker.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a priest.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the two careers that I identified myself with.
Social worker and priest.
Because my passion was there for the society, for the community.
So you've always been about serving people.
I never wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
But I discovered that teaching was a calling, not nothing else but a calling.
Yeah.
And I found it very, very amazing to see myself, amongst the children and the learners.
Yeah.
Understand? And I said, look, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a God-chosen career for me, and that is where I excelled. You know, I was teaching the grade, the foundation phase, if I may put it that way, from grade 1 to grade 3.
Yeah.
And I said, look, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
For the love I have for the children,
and
for the love I have for the community, this is definitely where I belong. It is no different, actually, from what I wanted to be.
You understand?
Because people, if people can tell you the truth, I used to buy uniform for those children who did not have.
Okay, nice.
For those learners who didn't have. I used to go around classes and look at the children who don't have shoes, pants, uniform, and take them myself to the shop, buy them. Some of them, starting from the shoes up to the jersey. You understand? And you know, teachers are very observant. They noticed what I was doing, and they would come to me, bringing a learner that is struggling, saying, "Minier, please help."
Because they see that you are helping others.
So I was like taken up. You know? When I see that this child is struggling and is coming from a background that is very, very
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. So I never regretted, you know, that I became a teacher.
It's fulfilling.
It's fulfilling because what I wanted to do as a social worker, I also did it. As a teacher, because when you are a teacher, you are everything. You are a parent. You are a social worker. You are a priest. You understand everything.
Counselor.
Counselor. Because you must appeal to the needs and the souls of the people.
Definitely.
Understand? Not only in an academic, but also spiritually. Because you know, a person is said to be psychosomatic and noetic.
Okay. I know
psychosomatic, noetic.
Please break it down.
Psycho refers to the spirit, the soul. Somatic refers to the physical aspect, the body. Noetic refers to the mind. So all those sections. Psychosomatic and noetic. So a person is said to be a psychosomatic and noetic being. Understand? Psycho refers to the soul, the spirit.
Noetic is the physical.
Somatic refers to the body, the physical part. Noetic refers to the mind. So all those sections need to be fulfilled. They need to be catered for. So when you are a leader, you must be sensitive and sensible to those issues.
I understand. Must be holistic.
Holistic.
Because complex.
So that is one of the things that was inspiring me to help, understand, and to stand up, understand, and say, look, we need to help these children.
That's powerful. And like, what would you say maybe to young people? Because now, like you've highlighted the importance of education, and that can liberate people from maybe being previously disadvantaged in our communities. But then, what do you say to young people these days? Because like right this morning, I was checking youth unemployment rate, and it's sitting at 62.4%. Right now, currently, right? So now we grew up in the society whereby we're told to go to school, go to primary school, high school. If you can afford it, or if there are means and ways you can get bursaries, then you go to tertiary, college, university. But then we find that we have a lot of young people who then graduate, even from our community, and then Umdu is still stuck with that qualification at home, or they have to compromise now and go work at retail and not like follow what they studied. What do you say to those young people? What is discouraged in the system of education?
I say to them, I think they must never give up. You understand? They must never lose hope. Because things are happening in different ways. You understand? And looking at the structure and the progress of our government, we need to be very patient. You understand? There is a Latin expression that says "nil disperandum," that is never despair.
What language is that?
It's Latin. Nil disperandum.
Nil disperandum.
Never despair. Never lose hope. Because things are
they're taking time.
So we need more patience, and also people must stand up and take initiative to run small business. Understand? Because you see, there is what is called this Capitec mentality. Do you understand? Do you know what is Capitec mentality?
Capitec mentality?
Yes.
No, first time. Well, please break
when
it
you go to the ATM.
Capitec? Or like any ATM?
When you go to the ATM,
this
is Capitec, this is Standard Bank,
Absa,
this is Absa.
So forth,
Have you ever seen that queue?
Capitec. It's too much.
It's the longest.
It's the longest line,
because of the Capitec mentality, that I want to draw my money here, nowhere else. Even if I can see, Standard Bank is empty,
Upsides. But it's the charges though. People don't want the charges.
But I'm rushing to work. I'm going to work.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So can't I think that at least I can lose this 5 rand and save time.
Yeah.
And be early at work, early at school, wherever.
Yeah.
Understand? But that capital mentality will keep those people for 3 hours standing in the same queue when all the other ATMs are free. So that capital mentality is the mentality that is existing in our people, our children. Understand?
Waiting.
Because they are waiting. Understand? Because I have got a BSc degree, I'm going to wait for a BSc job. Understand?
That's what you mean.
Yeah. Understand? I like these people from other countries.
Yeah.
If you can see them.
Yeah. They don't.
When you speak to them, no, I've got a degree and so and so. But where are you working?
Yeah.
You find him working in the petrol station.
Yeah.
Filling petrol.
Barber shops.
Yeah. So that you see, so we need to move away from that capital mentality.
Powerful.
Yeah, the mentality, that stereotype mentality, where you will sit at home and say, "Hi, the chartered accountant.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this and this." Yeah. When I can go and work, when I was a student.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the secret now.
Okay.
When I was a student, I started working in 1981. I was doing grade 9.
It's a long time.
1981. I was doing grade 9 at the time. I was working at a fuel station in Langa.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was doing it during holidays.
Okay.
But I started working in 1981.
Grade 9.
From grade 9. And I was working there until 1998. I changed the fuel station.
Yeah.
During holidays, I am working in the garage.
Yeah.
I did it while I was a teacher. And I was still working there.
While you were a teacher?
While I was a teacher, I was working there. When the schools are closed, I am working there as a cashier or petrol attendant. I don't even care who says what.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a profession.
Yeah.
I know I'm a teacher.
You're qualified.
Yeah, but I need money.
Yeah.
Understand? And I know money is like a plant. It is manufactured. It is like bread. It must be remade.
Yeah.
Understand? So you can't sit down and hold on, wait for it. That's the point. So you need to work. You will never believe. I stopped teaching when I started here as a principal in 1998, and I said, hey, people are going to say this man is mad. He's the principal now, and he's So that's the kind of mentality that the young people, our young children today, that's lacking. That's lacking. Understand? Yeah. So once they move from that mind, then they will definitely going to succeed in life.
No, that's powerful.
And know that at least I must be patient for who am I and for what I deserve.
Yeah.
But I cannot just sit down and fold my arms.
No.
I need to do something. Understand?
Yeah.
I must be proactive. Understand? I need to be ratioinative.
Yeah.
Because life needs those kind of people, the ratioinative people, volitional people, and rhetorical people who can open up their mouth and talk. Understand? Yeah. Bring advices.
Bring ideas.
Understand? And make sure that at the end of the day, you are somewhere.
No one is going to come to your house and be like,
definitely.
Here's a job for you. No, you must wake up and do something. No, that's powerful.
Yeah. You'll find some of our young people, they know that there is opportunities for driving.
Yes.
But how many of them have you seen going to the traffic departments?
It's not a lot of people.
Trying to get some learners, trying to get some driver's license. Because if you don't have a job in the office, you can be a driver.
Yeah, there's many options.
You can drive. I mean, for these companies, Uber and so on and so on.
Yeah,
so in the meantime, while we are waiting for this, we are doing that one. You understand?
That's powerful.
So this capital mentality must go away.
That's powerful, and I'm getting chills listening. I hope I'm also getting chills because things are not going to come to you, but you must actually be proactive.
Definitely,
and work. And I think that also leads us to our next thing. So it talks about leadership, right? So with leadership, there's different types of leadership, right? So there's like democratic leadership. That's like, okay, we are all a part of this. Everyone has a voice in this. We also have like autocratic leadership, which is like maybe one voice stands out.
Transactional leadership.
Which are the
transactional leadership. Praise the good.
Okay. Or it is transactional.
Yeah,
the transaction.
yeah,
You must do something for us. You know.
Yeah, that's like going to the bank and drawing money. When you go to the bank and put your pin, you must get something.
Yeah.
But you will never get anything if there's nothing. That's transactional leadership.
Sure.
If you do good, I praise you.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake, then I have to reprimand. So that's transactional leadership.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also transformational leadership.
Okay.
Transformational leadership speaks about changing. Understand? Bringing some change.
Yeah, it's a transformation.
In the society.
Yeah.
Wherever you are. You must be able to bring change.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, and you must be able to accept change. Not just bring change, but also accept that.
Two-way street.
Yeah. You see, if you read the philosophy of Karl Marx.
Okay, I see Karl Marx.
Karl Marx says, the circumstances will never change a human person. It is only when a person engage himself in the process of change. It is only when a person takes the initiative towards change that he will ultimately change.
Okay.
So you must be able to involve yourself in the process of change. Be active. That you will ultimately come to a point where you say, there is a change now.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
Understand that is transformational leadership. And when you stand up for a change, when you also accept change that is brought to you by other people, vis-a-vis, you understand?
Yeah.
So that is transformational. There's also what is called countercultural leadership. Countercultural leadership. Countercultural leadership is the one that is confusing a lot of people.
Which one?
And you will see people getting angry with Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
Oh, Ramaphosa, you see this man has done this and that, but Ramaphosa is still saying this man must come to parliament.
Yeah.
That's countercultural. When you make a decision that has never been expected by the majority of the people. Understand? Oh yeah, wow, this man has done this.
There's a culture we're used to doing things.
Yeah, and this man has done this, no, he deserves this kind of punishment.
Yeah.
And then you come with something completely different. Then it means you are counter.
You're counter what's been.
So it's counter, it's known as countercultural leadership. And it's also servant leadership.
Yeah, and that's what I was going. So at Gold Youth, we advocate for servant leadership.
Yeah, that's the one. You see that one. I do have passion for that. I have a lot of passion for servant.
You can share more.
Leadership. Because if you read the Bible, if I take you back to the Bible, that's parable about the prodigal son.
Who came back?
Who ran away from home.
Yes, sir.
Asking for his belongings.
Father, I want my
that
portion.
man was caught between two forces.
Also,
the forces of masterhood and the forces of servitude.
Okay. He wanted to be independent on his own.
He wanted to be a master.
Yeah, that masterhood.
That's forces of masterhood.
And then the servant is him being under his father.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was caught between those forces, the forces of masterhood and the forces of servitude.
Yeah.
That's why he resorted to become a master. And then wanted to take his own things.
Give me my portion. I want
to be a master.
Yeah.
But he realized that in masterhood, it's not chill.
It's not a walk in the park.
It's not chill. But in servitude, it is good. In servitude, there is life in abundance. In masterhood, there is no life. You understand? That's the experience that he had when he went out of his
father's compound,
and then got this experience, hardship, and everything. And
spent his
and then eventually he came back now to say, and then he came back now to say, look, now I can
to humble himself.
Yes, I can choose now the best type of leadership in my life. And to become a servant.
Powerful. On servant leadership, exactly what you're saying. So we believe like servant leadership, you lead like sometimes as leaders, we have leaders who lead us, but then leader is leading there from the back. Or we never see the leader, or the leader says, okay guys, as I'm leading this organization, I want you guys to do 1, 2, and 3. Then what you can come and
tell you something that the late Dr. Mandela said in one of the congresses. That Nelson Mandela, when he was still alive.
Yes.
In his closing remarks, he said to the leaders, the ANC, everybody, he said, as you go home to your places where you stay, as you go home, you must remember the 3 L's.
Okay, there were 3 L's.
Because you are leaders.
What were the 3 L's?
Lead. Learn from the people. you are leading. Lead with them, and then you will lead them successfully.
Please repeat, that's powerful.
So learn from those people you are leading.
Learn from them.
You must understand that you've got a lot to learn from those people.
Yeah.
Because there are things that you don't know. Understand, from experience and wisdom, those people can help you. So you must learn from the people that you are leading. And you must lead with them. Then you will lead them.
That's when you lead them.
Learn from them. Lead with them, and you will lead.
That is so powerful. Because
you understand?
Yeah. Sometimes when leaders come in,
they want to be pompous.
Bottom down.
They want to be pompous in a state of vanity. And think they are the thinking tanks. Forgetting that there is a lot that they can learn from the people that they are leading.
That's powerful.
And when you come to people with that perception of learning from them, you become humble. And humbleness will help you to lead the people. Because humbleness shows a sign of respect to the people that you are leading. So one of the exercises and one of the gains for a leader that is able to learn from the people is humbleness. Because you must be humble.
People relate to you if you're humble. If you want to be popular, come with your car, you don't talk to no one. No,
so you must learn from the people. And lead with them.
And which leadership style do you have used across your life, or which ones have influenced you?
All my life it's servant leadership. You can go wherever.
Powerful.
I am. It's servant leadership.
In serving and leading while serving the people.
And I know that there is things that I don't know that I can learn from those people that I am leading. Even in the church. I tell them, I don't want to be a monster. Somebody that is scary.
Feared.
People must respect me. They must not fear me. Because I still want to work with these people. And there's a lot that I have to learn from them. The more you are down to the people, the more they respect you and the more they listen to you. Because you are not pompous. You understand? You see, masterhood is a problem. Because masterhood is also aligned to bosses. When you become a boss, then you are no more a leader. You are not a leader anymore. Because
you're commanding, you're more like a commander.
That's it. You are commanding.
To do this, do that, you don't like leading. So servant leadership.
Once you keep yourself in the level of servant, become the servant and make sure that you are here to serve the people. You are not here to bully them. You will respect their ideas because you want them to respect yours. You understand?
Clearly,
And you will make sure that you create peace because you want them to make peace with you.
And that is so powerful.
You understand? And people will work with you peacefully.
It's powerful and contradictory sometimes because when you say, like, if you look at a servant, someone who's serving, leadership, someone who's leading.
But for you to get, you must give. Even with leadership, you must give. You understand? You see, I am so inspired with the words from St. Francis of Assisi. St. Francis of Assisi wrote some letters. She came from a family that was big and rich, but wanted to live a simple life, shared a gospel with the people, the poor of the poorest. He wrote a letter to say, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Understand? So, if you create a peaceful situation, that is what you are going to get. Understand? What you sow, what you reap. Understand? And he said, grant that I may not seek to be loved as to love, to be consoled as to console. I must begin to love so that I can be loved. Not to seek to be loved.
You won't get love. You must,
And then he said, it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. You understand?
It's powerful.
So it's it's like that.
But I can tell today we're sitting with an academic. We can tell that we're sitting with an academic.
Yeah.
So coaching and
so it moves around those issues.
Yeah.
Leadership is very complicated.
Yeah.
And most people are losing it.
I feel like what you're saying, people complicate it themselves.
Yeah, people are losing it. Understand it? Because they make it very complicated.
Yeah, it's not,
It's very complicated. You understand? Once you are in a society or in an institution, don't own it because it is not yours.
Yeah.
It is part of.
It's bigger than you.
It's bigger than you.
You're an instrument in making it happen, but it's
you are
not
just amongst the people who are meant to add value, but you are not alone.
And was that your mentality, like when you were building as a school, or was that your mentality that I'm just an instrument in the bigger scheme?
Definitely. You can see how many people are working today from the very, very small effort that I started.
It's not only people working, but it's minds that have gone through
you understand.
Education system.
Definitely, you understand. And there's a lot of lawyers today who greet me on the street and say, Mr. Baju, you remember me? I was a student. And I get so proud. But some of them, I can't recognize their faces now because of age and so on. We understand, But I know that my contribution is so big.
And it's for forever. And it's not like something that someone can come and give you, but you can see the impact.
You can see the impact, you understand?
Oh, that's powerful.
So it pays your heart and your soul.
It's
not about money, but your soul. It enriches you and make you the best and make you one of the top guys, understand? Because you can see.
That's powerful.
Understand? You can see there is evidence. Understand? There is evidence. So I'm trying to say, that's about leadership.
I think that's a lot. That's a lot. We're still sitting with Mr. BATYI, as I said, a pioneer. And if you guys have been listening, I don't know, please say in the comment section, are you inspired or what's up? But Mr. BATYI, we are also in Youth Month. It's a very important time. Also looking at the history of South Africa and the history of education, which you have been a part of, the history of academics, right? In 1976, young people came up and they was like, no, we want to see change. And then it speaks also about the 7 leadership that you're speaking about. People put themselves on the line to see this change that we have. Today we see the contribution. People are able to go to schools and learn and become lawyers and become what they want to be. Do you feel that we are fully commemorating the youth of 76, like the youth of today? Do they understand the struggle that the youth went through, and do they appreciate it in your own point of view?
You see, there is this thing that is called the generation gap.
Generation gap, okay.
Which is also contributing, maybe I can say negatively, towards some of these very, very important moments of our life.
Yes.
Understand? Especially when you speak about the youth month, and you speak about June 16, 1976, when most of our young people died, laid their lives and their blood, understand, for human rights.
Do you remember where you were, during that time?
That time I was still young.
Yeah?
But I was also involved. We decided to run away.
Okay.
From here to the Eastern Cape. My parents said, no, go that side. Even if things are not well, but things are very worse this side.
People were dying.
People were dying.
Kids were dying,
Kids were dying. Young children, young boys were tortured. They were killed, you understand? So people laid their lives for human rights.
For the freedoms that we are eating today.
That people that we are benefiting today. And it was not just an easy thing at the time. All over the world, actually. You could run wherever you want to run, but
chaos everywhere.
Chaos everywhere.
Hectic.
It was hectic. But the generation gap is creating some kind of problem.
What's that? What's the
generation gap? It is this difference of this 1976 generation. And I'm a 2000.
I'm a 2K.
I'm a 2K.
But 2K,
I'm a 2K, you know.
Yeah.
They need a jolly life.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And when you talk about June 16, they want to go jolly.
Yeah, everyone is the thing. Yeah.
So when you talk about June 16, to them it's like understand? Yeah. Alcohol,
yeah.
And all those negative issues.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah, we don't have a problem people sitting around the table and enjoying themselves, but we must also respect the history of our time.
Honor the moment.
And also, reflect on where we come from. Understand? Yeah. We know that we are not meant to reside in the past. Yeah, because past has never been meant for as a place of residence.
That's deep.
It is meant to be a place of reference. People must refer to the past.
Been there, this
so
happened.
that they can advance their lives. You understand? But we don't need to lose the concept. You understand? Yeah, the concept, which is the struggle.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. I think most of the time, if the young people of today can help us, understand, to pause.
Yeah.
Reflect. Yeah, maybe they lack the history and the understanding.
Oh, there's a gap. Maybe there's a gap.
Yeah, this gap that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah, they need to pause and say, what is it that we can do to promote education?
Yeah.
What is it that we can do on just this youth month? What is it that we can do to bring change and bring some meaning to the lives of the youth people? Not only the young people, but also the old people.
Yeah.
There's those
but driven by the youth.
Driven by the youth.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So they need to pause and sit down and say, we need to create our program, especially for this month. Program that's going to be lucrative.
Yeah.
Understand? For the society, the community, and the nation. You understand? Yeah. Taking into cognizance the fact that most of the elders have struggled and suffered for this day, in order for us to have this day, in order for us to have all the doors of education open for every one of us.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. Understand? So
we die.
So we need to do something that is going to be lucrative and that is going to show meaning, understand, in changing the lives of our people in education and in our society.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's what they need to do. Other than going to the parties and the bars, joining and all that stuff.
Just partying,
So we need.
Let's reflect. I love what you said. I love what you said about how the past is not a place of residence.
Yeah.
We're not staying in the past.
We're not staying in the past.
But it's a point
of reference. Yeah.
But you remember, today is 2025. You have this education. You can go and study at UCT, CPUT without any discrimination.
Definitely.
Because remember, in 1976, Hector Peterson, not only Hector Peterson, many unsung heroes.
Definitely.
Oh, Mr. Bach, everyone was there. Understand? So how do you then commemorate that moment and appreciate this moment? And what you're saying, it's about how do we then move forward?
Yeah. So that's what they need to do now.
Yeah.
That's what they need to sit down and put up some programs, and exhaust their ideas and their minds in putting up a program that is going to tally, with this day and this month, understand? Yeah. So I would love to see young people moving around the streets, helping the elderly people, understand? Yeah, putting some structures to educate, understand? To do some general education as well.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, I like what you are doing in Masabambani.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But if you sit down and broaden up and think out of the box, take it out, mobilize and galvanize more youth, especially for this one, and put a structurize the program.
Yeah,
that is going to show respect and honor.
Yeah.
You understand?
To that generation.
Yeah, to that generation.
Yeah.
So that's why I say each generation gap has also created some
that disconnect between the history
because if they understand the essence,
there's a lack of understanding.
If they understand the meaning of the struggle at that time, then they would really do what I'm saying today.
No, that's powerful.
There's a lot that the young people can do for our communities.
Yeah. That is so powerful, and I don't know if you know, but by the year 2050, Africa as a continent will have the largest population of youth. 2050, that's like 25 years from now. Is Africa, out of all the continents, we're going to have the largest population of young people. And then if you look at young people, that is where the workforce is. That is the people who still have the energy to be like, hey, I don't like this thing, I'm able to change it. Those are the people that are able to generate new ideas. And so what you're saying, it's very important that we capacitate ourselves.
Yes.
When that time comes, we're able to make a global impact, not only up at Gryphontein, not only in Western Cape Town, South Africa, but globally. You understand that with our resources and the information that we're going to have. So that's really powerful. I really, really like that, and thank you so much for your time. This has been a great honor just to have a conversation with you as a pioneer and as a person.
I also appreciate this moment,
Yeah,
because I always feel that there is a lot that I still have to impart.
To
the young people and to our communities.
Yeah,
understand from my experience. Yeah, because people, they take things easy.
Yeah.
And you know what? People, when they see you in a successful
position,
they always think that it came from
privilege. Sure. Yeah.
And they forget that you have struggled on your own to make things happen. And if they don't understand that, people will always run away from the struggles because they always think that all those who have successful
it just came easy.
Came easy.
It reminds me of something.
So they shy away.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the challenge. And it's because when you grow, there is a lot of things that is happening in your life. And if you don't have the power to make decisions, then you see decision-making power, then you are going to fail in your attempts for your success. Because when you take a decision to go to school, you must always understand that that decision you've taken will not just come easy.
No, it won't be easy.
You understand? There's going to be a struggle. Some days you go to school with an empty stomach. Other days you go to school with no shoes.
No shoes, it's cold. It's something.
And you wouldn't want to go to school if you don't have the power to make decisions. If you have a decision-making power and you stick to your decisions, then you are going to be the best person in life. But if you fail to stick to your decision-making power, then you are going to fail in your life
and fall under someone else's decision.
Because when difficulties come, you must be the slave of your decision.
Well, you mean like stick to this?
You must be the slave of your decision. To be a slave of your decision, it means now even when the conditions are not favorable.
I made this decision
because I have made this decision.
Powerful.
Because when you succeed in life, when you reap the fruits of your efforts, you will be the master of your own decision.
Wow.
You understand?
That's deep.
In the moment when you are encountering problems and difficulties, you understand? In your journey. Don't run away. Become the slave
of your decision.
Because you have decided.
Yes.
You want to become the slave of that decision. Because if the notice says right, you are the only one who's going to be the beneficiary. And you will be the master of your decision. It means first to be the slave and next to be the master.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That's where young people are failing.
We can't
not wanting to be the slaves of their own decision. They want to run away when things are bad.
When it's nice way.
You understand? Yeah. Forgetting one point that one of these days, you understand, when the fruits are hanging on the tree, he will be the master of his own decision.
Because it's about like what you're saying about patience. What you're saying, I don't know, like since you're throwing around quotes, I have a quote as well, so it's from Andrew Tate. He's a he's a fighter though, like he's a world champion, right? But he says sometimes people will look at Mr. BATYI driving a very nice car. You understand? They see Mr. BATYI driving a very nice car, and the person will want that nice car that Mr. BATYI is driving, but it does not want to work hard and put in the effort to get the same car that Mr. BATYI wants. You understand? So it's about people want things but not willing to commit and be slaves to their decisions in order to get their things. It's
like a dream, you know, when you dream. Sleeping in bed.
It's nice.
And then you dream, you see somebody bringing you a big bag of money. When you wake up, there's no money.
It's a nice dream though.
There's no money. Where is this money? And you become angry. That's why you see most of these people going and collecting monies from the people. That's why you see people going and breaking the houses of other people, taking because of the dream. The best philosophers of life will tell you that, it was a dream, man. Take it as a dream. And all you need to do is to stand up and start making
that dream a reality.
Don't go and rob people because you dream about a big bag of money. So there was no change. Understand? That's the first order of change, that there is no change.
The first order of change.
That there is no change. The second order of change means there's change.
I'm confused.
But if you dream,
the first order of change is that there's no change.
There's no change.
What do you mean?
Because you were sleeping.
Okay.
And when you woke up broke.
There's no change. There's no change.
There's no change.
Okay.
That's the first order of change.
I understand.
The second order of change, if you were sleeping and you dream like fighting with your friend, and then you wake up, and then when you wake up and then you are standing, then it means you're no longer in bed. You are now in another position because you were fighting. So there's a change. Because when you were sleeping, you were in bed, but when you woke up, you were standing. Like
you're ready, you're in it.
So there's a change. So people must understand that the first order of change means no change. The second order of change means change. So the reality is that if there's no change, there's no change. Whether you must stand up to make your own change.
There's no food in the house, there's no food.
There's no food.
If I haven't graduated,
that's it. You mustn't go and steal the degrees and the certificate. There is no change. It is like a dream. You dreamt like a graduate, but you are not a graduate. Go to school. Then that's the second order of change, but you bring change and you will see change.
That's powerful.
So the first order of change, there's no change. The second order of change, you will see change.
But you must put in the work for it.
You must make an effort.
That's powerful.